Why should you invest the time to learn about portable computerized tablets like the iPad? What benefits do we get from these computers? If you have never used a portable computing tablet in your experimental aircraft, then you are in for a real treat. I welcome you to sit back and be amazed at how an affordable computer that you can purchase from Walmart will make your flying experience safer and more fun. The series of demonstrations that follow should be quite convincing. No prior computer experience is needed on your part. Then we will explain the technical side of the hardware and software products you need to get started. In this video, we are not pushing any particular brand of computer or choice of software package. We are not affiliated with any vendor. But by demonstrating and discussing the popular competing products, you can select what is best for your needs. So let's get started.
I'm going to focus in on the airport at Sturgeon Bay. Now here's Lake Michigan. Notice this looks just like our sectional. We're not going to worry about what software we're using at the moment. Let's just look at functionality. To bring up airport facility information, I'm simply going to touch in the area, and the call sign or the identifier is KSUE, so I'm going to go ahead and touch this. And that brings up our information. And here's the runway information. There's basically two runways, 0220 and 1028. And we have their lengths. If we want more information, for example, on this runway, I'm simply going to touch the little arrow here. And that will bring up more information on that particular runway. And at the very bottom, notice the buttons METAR and TAFs. I'm going to go ahead and push the METAR. And notice that right now this airport is marked as IFR, not VFR. Well, let's take a look and see if we can discover why. Here's the time of the last report, 10:55. Visibility is 5 miles. But notice the clouds broken at 600 feet and overcast at 1100. So that's going to explain. We have a bit of a snowstorm in the general area. So I'm simply zooming out. There's our Sturgeon Bay, but notice the heavy snow in this area. We also can get a map. If we push the map, that's using the satellite image so we can actually see what the airport looks like, surrounding roads. So basically all of the things and then some from our airport facility directory. Here is yet a third software solution for looking up airport information using a portable computer. Once again, we're looking at Wisconsin and Lake Michigan. We're going to zoom in on Sturgeon Bay once again. We'll notice how all of these software packages provide essentially the same information. They just do it in different ways with different menus. There's Sturgeon Bay. I'm going to touch the airport, and that will bring up a ring. We see the identifier for the airport, KSUE. This ring has segments with different kinds of information available at your touch. I'm going to touch the little airport diagram, which is this one right there. That brings up a menu with information about the airport. Now the first menu tab here says General, has some very general type information. But if we're interested in communications frequencies, I'll touch the Frequency tab, and that will bring up all of the pertinent frequencies for the Sturgeon Bay Airport. Runway information, just a touch of my finger on the Runway tab, And there's our information about the runways. Notice at the bottom of all of these we have another item that says more information.
Now I'm simply going to locate Oshkosh on the map, and that happens to be right here, Whitman Field. Since this is going to be my destination, all I have to do is select it using my finger again and pick it from the list. There it is, KOSH Whitman Regional. And I will touch it. Notice the electronic map has drawn the route as a straight line between the two airports.
Another aspect of weather analysis for pilots is to understand wind velocity and direction along our route at various altitudes from the surface on up. Here's a map showing the winds at 3,000 feet. It uses the standard wind barbs so we can quickly see the direction and strength. This map can be swapped for another that shows the wind forecast many hours from now. Here is the radar coverage in time lapse. It is easy to locate our current location, indicated by the flashing blue ring. Press of a button. These are the documents I currently have loaded on this computer. I'm going to select this one, and you should recognize it, the AIM manual. And these are very easy to use. First of all, they're always up to date. And for finding a page, I can push this table of contents button here and quickly find the topic that I'm interested in. Another document is the legend for my sectionals. Because we're not using the paper sectionals anymore, we can still have the legend to go back and refer and refresh our mind on some of the terms.
Let's take a moment and summarize what we now understand to be some of the benefits of these new portable computer tablets. Flight planning. When we need airport information and can use the computer, it's now easy and fast to find what we need to know, from runway details to radio frequencies. Our planning becomes less of a chore and more fun when it's easy to locate accurate information. NOTAMs are now available to us before every trip. No need to go searching or calling for that information. Navigation. Our planning of our flight route is created graphically by using a touch screen, easy and accurate with airspace boundaries clearly evident. These routes are easily modified at any time. Our flight is guided and monitored by the system GPS to follow our designated path. With the computer, we now have solid, complete weather information that's easy to obtain at any airport. We can quickly and confidently decide to make a flight, removing the challenge of decoding cryptic weather reports from multiple sources. Winds can be judged at altitudes and time intervals of our choosing. Documentation. We can stop collecting the paper documents, sectional charts, the airport facility directories, the FAR books and NOTAMs, because we now have them electronically available and they are always up to date. No more wondering if that outdated sectional is still good enough. Same with our AFDs. These tools, without a doubt, provide all of us with the ability to make better judgments, making us safer and better pilots.
Now for the technical stuff. What hardware components do you need to purchase to get the functionality we demonstrated? The other platform, which I will call Android, includes tablets or pads and smartphones made by non-Apple manufacturers. Please take note, there are two models of iPad and iPad minis, and the difference between the two is important when it comes to our aviation use. When you purchase an iPad or Mini, you have to choose one of the two models of these tablets. One model has Wi-Fi capability, and the other has Wi-Fi and cellular.
While I said the vast majority of pilots using aviation programs use an Apple tablet, we should be aware of the potential benefits and features that are available to the Android tablet market. For example, here I have a Nexus tablet marketed by Google running the Android system. It is about half the price of a comparable Apple tablet, about $250, brand new.
As it stands today, there are three major players when it comes to choosing aviation software that performs the functions we demonstrated earlier. Here they are.
Earlier, we mentioned that not all software runs on all hardware, and now is the time to review this relationship. Do I have any thoughts regarding which of the three software packages to choose? Which one is best? Watching the demonstrations from our first chapter, we witnessed all sorts of up-to-date weather-related information on our screen, including radar, wind, direction and speed, cloud cover, and so on. This information must flow to our computer tablets on an ongoing basis for this information to be current and relevant. This requires that our computer tablets have some sort of wireless network connection to obtain this information on an ongoing basis. There are several ways this connection is made.
While on the ground, our tablets all have the ability to connect via Wi-Fi to the internet. This requires that your tablet be in range of a wireless network, such as at your house or in a coffee shop, etc. ADS-B stands for Automatic Dependent Surveillance Broadcast. This is a broad topic, of which weather is one part. ADS-B is defined by two services, an out, which has to do with transmitting information, and an in, which has to do with receiving data. The ADS-B antennas we purchase for use with our computer tablets will participate with the in service, receiving weather and possibly air traffic data from 800 ground-based stations around the country.
In addition to the flight planning and moving map software that we have demonstrated, there are other applications of interest to pilots that can be run on these computer tablets.
For example, topics include maintaining your logbook entries in the computer, keeping track of currencies of landings and the like, performing weight and balance calculations for your flight, an E6B computer application, and much more. Then there are the Learning to Fly training courses and test preparations, videos for learning about and working on certificates like for IFR. Of course, we cannot forget the standard everyday applications like email and web browsing. There are a number of ways that pilots physically mount or display their computer tablet in the cockpit. There is no standard method that is universally used due to the extreme portability of the unit and uniqueness of every aircraft. Another option is to install an adjustable mount to the panel or glare shield, which will allow tilting in many directions to accommodate glare reduction.
Is it legal to use the computer tablet and software as a replacement for the paper sectionals to be used as a source of information for flight planning? So far, we have heard only positive things about these portable computer tablets in the cockpit. Are there any downsides or negative behaviors that we should be made aware of? Yes, most certainly it is not a perfect world out there. Here are some of the pitfalls to be aware of. What is the easiest way to get more information to help in selecting the best hardware and software application?